Yeah, so right now you're looking at your screen, you see a man who is talking. You're going to hear him later. He's Detective Superintendent Winston Larry Hunt. Yeah, man, we call him 2-year-old. So the men that you see behind him, yes, you're looking at them in the glasses, grey hair men. That's ACP Granville, John Gaz and Dudley Bryan. That man that you see right there, that is the man that responsible for us. Yeah man, Leslie Ashman, our team leader. We call him Ashes. Not a loud man, they can't tell you that. So whilst, Bobby and I and the other members of the team were out there, and he was there with us, but he was the team leader, the silent one. So for Bobby's funeral, we can tell you that, yes, just look, those two men who are right there. Everything that happened, the state funeral that Bobby received, those are the men who are behind it. The unsung hero. ACP Granville, John Gaz, and SSP Dudley Bryan. Yeah, when the family was shunned and they told the daughter that Bobby was a DC, yes, men, they didn't take kindly to it because they knew the contribution that we have contributed to the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the legacy. There's no police officers that serve in the Jamaica Constabulary Force knew Bobby and I as ACP Granville, John Gaz knew us. None. Ashman knew us because he was our team leader. But we are talking about inside, out, everything. That's the man. You understand what I'm saying? So, well, you have to give credit where credit is due. And I can tell you, whether or not you want to believe it, these men treat us very well. And you see it? This is what leadership is all about. Even in death, of all the commanding officers that we had at St. Andrew South all this time that benefit from the work, you see, Dudley Bryan show up. We don't know what happened to the others, if they are sick or what, you understand, but they came after Dudley Bryan. Even Harry Daly was there too. And we'll tell you a story about with Harry Daly and Bobby Reds. You're going to shock when you hear it. You understand? Because Bobby wasn't an ordinary man. So we're going to let you watch the full, let you watch Bobby's funeral service. Those of you who are requested, you're going to see it for yourself. So you watch, you listen, and you decide Bobby Red's funeral. And may Bobby Red's soul rest in peace. We know him fine. Solace, knowing that him get the Jamaica flag, and thanks to the Commissioner of Police, SSP Mandison, and the members of the St. Andrew South police team that was there. And to my squad, my roommate, yeah man, Inspector Donovan Barnes. Yeah man, I see you man, big up myself, I'm a roommate that yeah man, Donovan Barnes, my only one from our room, from as a roommate that still a serve. Yeah man, from 1988. Donovan boy, may I tell you, big up squad. So you watch, you listen, and you decide. Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. To our loyal viewers, subscribers and Patreon member. At the channel, we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because they save lives. This is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives at this channel. We at the channel aid criminals with a passion and do not want them over here. We do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you to go to prison or the departure lounge at Madden. Moving on to today's video. Correct. On the funeral and final farewell, you're going to see the video to District Constable Silford Bobby Reds Williams. I want to make sure that history is recorded properly, because Bobby Reds did not become Bobby Reds all by himself, become a household name. Yes, Bobby Reds, yeah, become a household name. It was all of us as a team. before Bicycle Squad. We were a team. Our corporal, Detective Corporal Leslie Ashman, we call him Ashes. And you have Rock Stevens, Gunter, and Kirk Palmer. So guys call him Shabba Ranks. And Christopher Porter did not become the Jamaica Young Police all by himself. There was a guy that used to work with us when Ashman was shot. Detective Corporal Errol Mackenzie, him left as inspector. I didn't see him at the funeral at all. I don't know what happened if he's in the best of health. Before people knew our names throughout St. John the South, Kingston Metropolitan area, St. Catherine, the entire St. Catherine Police Division was St. Catherine. We even do work in a St. Catherine for St. Catherine Police. Bobby and I, in the early 90s, Bobby and I were always living in the same community. And you understand, at the time, you have some guys when I rob and rape people. And, Bobby and I, in the early 90s, yeah man, we fix them. We do the necessary, and you understand. Bobby and I, at the time, Mr. Virgo was the soup at Hunsby, and I don't remember who was the soup then in a Spanish Town, the headquarters. But, that would put a lull upon the robbery and the rape them. Because we straight away take care of them. And I can tell you, I say it already and I'll say it again. We have never taken a brown paper bag to gun court because these men that we're dealing with were heartless killers. And they weren't afraid, wanted to kill us too. So we have to defend ourselves. Before Bobby Rhodes and I became recognized, whenever we went somewhere, there were men standing beside us, leading us, teaching us, protecting us, correcting us, and helping to mold us into the policemen that people eventually came to know. And today I want to give those men their flowers while they're alive. And I want the world to remember their names. At the top of the list is Detective Leslie Ashman. Ashes. Anyway, there in our world, man, big up. Most people don't even know that you are the man who saved my career. I said it already. I said it maybe 2 or 3 times already. This is the man, Leslie Ashman. Ashes is the man responsible for my career. When I say my career, when a thief in police, we have to talk that the name Leroy Sparks. The man they are more PMP than Michael Manley. Yeah, he come from Clarendon. The man they believe in a Obia and him live in Nannyville and black ugly police. Never like me. Say me an international police because because Bobby and I, we arrested a big PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization activist out of the police area because the police them in where the man was wanted, they were protecting him, and we went there and brought him in. But because this man was a PMP police, never see himself as police, he had it against me, and something happened. I was in the right, but because he had the power, wanted to remove me from CIB, although I was an aide, and say I should go to the guard room. And he told me that Monday that as long as I live, I will never have a 9mm pistol again. I don't go see you when police officers walking with it. Because when I returned to work, I was injured on duty, in the line of duty, save a woman's life down by Twickenham Close. He said that when I return, I will go to the guard room, save a woman's life, recover a gun, and I got injured. This black, that's why I mean a PMP, the man a PMP to the core, never liked me. And the same day he was interdicted, because he was a corrupt police officer. He's the same police where I did a video about with Blackford, a man who was on YouTube talking about PMP and this talking about ghetto youth and this and that. When he is the one who had shot a youth, was going on his truck from York Avenue, shot him in the back, and the same policeman, I not talk about no allegedly, and the same policeman Spark collect money and did not charge him. And now Blackford now it out upon the police them because through my PMP, you understand, I use politics and I defend criminals when him shoot somebody when I try to thief something off one of them truck. So moving on. So to tell you now, Detective Leslie Ashman was our team leader. And when you are a young policeman working some of the toughest communities in Jamaica, Your team leader can make the difference between whether you develop into a disciplined investigator or whether you lose your way. Yeah, and I can tell you. So the man at just add a little caveat to it. So he had disarm him. You know, say boy, I'm telling him at the time, at the time when he disarmed me, West as a team, me and Bobby has mash up the place, you know. St. Andrew South. Even when our cowboy them come, they ask anybody. Cowboy them ox, them and of them have the ratings in a St. Andrew South. It was the two of us. Both of us. And you understand? And Ashman is the one that visit my home and told me that I must go to the Jamaica Police Academy and talk to Mr. Gas. I wasn't a corrupt police officer. And from there, the rest is history. So that's why I forgive them people and them flowers. That's what, when I tell you, say I don't like PMP, LGBTQ plus criminal organization. Them corrupted to the core. I don't know. You understand what I'm saying? Corrupt. You understand? See him and you know, him can't, you understand what I'm saying? So Ashman carried that responsibility. He helped shape that team. He helped shape Bobby Reds. He helped shape me. Ruben Gunter, Rock Stevens, Kirk Palmer were dead, and later Bruce Bones were dead. So when people speak today about Bobby Reds and Christopher Porter becoming household names throughout St. Andrew South, understand something. Leslie Ashman helped build that foundation. Then there is ACP, Granville John Gars. I cannot speak about Bobby Red's final journey without acknowledging John Gars. I cannot speak about our history without acknowledging him. I certainly cannot speak about the respect shown to Bobby Reds at the end without remembering the people who understood what Bobby Reds represented to the Jamaica Constabulary Force. John Gars was a part of that journey. Dudley Bryan was a part of that journey. They were not people who suddenly appear after Bobby Reds became known. These were men who knew the work. They knew the sacrifices. They knew the streets we walked. They knew the communities we entered. They knew the pressure that came with policing St. Andrew South during some extremely difficult years. The Bicycle Squad will reduce murder, you know, from the murder capital in Jamaica and take it down to number 5. We did that. And they knew Bobby Reds. And not the Bobby Reds that people saw at a funeral, not simply the name people heard many years later. They knew the policeman. They knew the man who went out there and did the work. And then we had our teammates, Detective Ruben Gunter. We, Bobby Reds, call him Rambo. Reason why Bobby called Gunter do some things where, trust me, you understand? You know, that would be another day. So all of you young police at St. Andrew South working with Detective Inspector Gunter, you are working with a legend. Twice Gunter was shot. We call Gunter Rambo. And him get that name not because of TV or because of things that he have done. Now back from a gunfight. I can tell you that. Gunter eventually become our team leader himself. Yeah, man, our constable and Gunter become a team leader. So imagine you were a team leader, then somebody become it, no problem. Think about what that means. Same team, just different rank, nothing changed. No bad mind, no problems. This was not simply a collection of policemen wearing the same uniform. This was a team that grew together. Men learned from each other. Men watch each other's back. Men develop into leaders. And some of those men went on to carry responsibilities of their own. Gunter was one of them. Then there was Rock Stevens. Rock was a part of that brotherhood too. We have memories. Rock and Bobby and I, we have some great memories. Trust me, I tell you, I believe you, me. And there were others. Unfortunately, many of those men are no longer here. They have passed on. And that is why I believe it is important that while some of us are still alive, we tell their stories. Because one day, there will be nobody left who actually stood there.
Nobody left to walk those streets together. Nobody left who remembers the conversation inside the station. Nobody left who remembers the operations. Nobody left who remembers the laughter. Nobody left who remembers the dangerous moments when everybody wondered whether we were all going to make it home. History disappears when the people who lived it remain silent. I refuse to allow that history to disappear. And we have to big up a guy when named Sticky. You understand? Sticky although chambers and chambers. Trust me. You know, one time. Hey, I tell you, Unsby itself is a university. Back then, I don't know about now, but in our days, we young days, you know, you understand, energetic, zealots. May I tell you, do some work, rain, sunshine. We don't use no raincoat or anything like that. Rain come and wet winter rain for prevent robbery on Spanish Town Road. You have to drive, whether we are on the bicycle or we are walking at it, with boots are wet, with clothes are wet, just to protect the people. And we never even think about to get sick. That's how much we love the work. You understand? Some people say, I ain't no idea what you get. You don't get nothing. What I get, trust me, is experience. Nobody can take that from me. My experience. And it molded me into the man I am today. So that's how it is. I refuse to allow that history to disappear. When people of St. Andrew South began recognizing Bobby Reds and me, they were really seeing the product of an entire team. They were seeing the influence of Leslie Ashman. We have done things that you think a movie. And we tell you about, I'll just give you guys like three things about Bobby. I'll tell you about that thing with Harry Daly, Harry Bongos with Bobby Reds. And I'll tell you about the time when Kirk Palmer gets shot. And I will find something else to tell you about. They were seeing the influence of Leslie Ashman. Leslie Ashman was our team leader. They were seeing the guidance of men such as John Gaz and Dudley Bryan. We weren't thief. They were seeing brotherhood of Ruben Gunter, Rock Stephen, Bobby Reds, and myself and other men who work alongside us. Gunter, I don't know how Gunter is a detective inspector. That man should have been seen as soup. Gunter the first top cop of Jamaica. Back then top cop means something. Top cop not mean paper pusher. Top cop means somebody who out there a fight. Crime. Island wide. I'll talk about that some other time. We became known because we were out there. We were among the people. We were doing police work. And whether people love us, criticize us, respected us, feared us, argue with us, or laugh with us, they knew who we were. Bobby Reds became a household name. Porter became a household name. People never call me Christopher Porter, they call me Porter. Some people say, oh, dirty boy from jungle. I tell them people are easy, especially the people that with a Whitfield Town and in a Kidston 13. But behind those two names was a team. And that team deserved to be remembered. That is why Bobby Red's funeral should not simply represent the closing of one man's life. It should remind us of an era. An era of policemen who formed bonds that lasted decades. An era where your partner sometimes knew your next move without saying a word. An era where the man beside you might literally be responsible for whether you return home to your family. And Bobby Reds was one of those men for me. For more than 10 years, he wasn't simply somebody wearing the same uniform. He was my partner. He was my brother in policing. I can't believe Andrew Williams wasn't even there. Holy pap, and there's so many Jamaican people that are living at that. But I just say, God, we share experiences that most people listening to this will never understand. So seeing him receive his final salute meant something deeply personal to me. And although I could not physically stand there beside his coffin, my heart was there. My memories were there. My gratitude was there. And part of that gratitude belongs to the men who helped created Bobby Reds and Christopher Porter that St. Andrew South came to know. So tonight, I say, Detective Leslie Asman, thank you. Yeah man, you responsible for me and Bobby. And Mr. Gaz, when people say, boy, oh, yeah, man, I tell you, ACP Granville John Gaz, thank you. You know, so boy, I will love you like cook food. Cause boy, yeah, I think I'm here to say, tell me the truth. We not tell him lie, we tell him what happened. Dudley Bryan, thank you, Sir Dudley. Detective Inspector Ruben Gunter, thank you, Rambo. All team leader, Rock Stevens, Rocky, yeah man, thank you. Share some memories together. And to those members of our team who have already departed this earth, we have not forgotten you. And we say, boy, thank you to Carl Nelson. He was a part of the Bicycle Squad, original Bicycle Squad. Yes. But I tell you, yeah man, entire way and Bobby started and them see it go on and you understand, and them say, boy, and we see Nelson for some reason say, you know, so that you tell me like how he move. He remind me of more want him from my team. There are so many people that we brought to CIB because we could see a police who are warrior like Yatta, Bruce Brown. We had that knock because we are street cops, and that's how we bring them into the fold. Your names may not appear in newspaper headlines. There may never be a documentary made about you. There may never be a monument carrying your names. But you are written permanently in our history. And whenever the story of Silford Bobby Reds and Christopher Porter is told, the story of the men who stood beside us must also be told, because we were a team. Because nobody becomes a household name alone. Nobody builds a legacy alone. There was a team behind us. And Bobby Red's funeral reminded me once again just how extraordinary that team really was. Rest well, Bobby Reds. And to every man who helped us along the journey, thank you for making us who we became. Your contribution will never be forgotten. So now you watch, you listen, and you decide. This is Bobby Red's funeral. And look, to those who want entertainment, or we're saying an entertainment channel, this is educational, and this way inspire you to aspire to be a better person. So you watch, you listen, and you decide. This is Bobby Red's funeral.
Life is fleeting, and it's certainly decision to be specific. In his shirt, in his pants, and his life. I'm no supporter to be a no-nonsense type of police. They have to find a way to bring this peace to its knees, pieces of its criminal evidence. They now knew, though they are not restricted to major crime reduction rate because of something that was started many years ago. Created a ripple effect that has transcended the legacy of Bobby Reds, O.C. Silford Williams, some heroes who would have blazed the trail, but after he is gone, they are still being scattered. When this day comes, as in today, as it must for all of us, what will or what would our legacy be? And dedication, fueled by the love you have for people. The final bell has rung, and your final tour of duty is done. The watch is over. The uniform is laid down. On this horizon, may light perpetually shine on you always. Bobby Reds, remember the name, remember the man. watch the legacy. Thank you.
Before I start with a tribute from the 527 members of the St. Andrews South Police Division, could I just ask all the members of the St. Andrews South Police Division to please stand. And I must acknowledge some of my mentors who are here. I'm not going to start calling names because I'll get in trouble. I must say, my inspiration of joining the JSF came through district councils. District councils such as Dublin, Davis, up in Irish Town, Mr. McCarthy, again up in Irish Town. My first experience with a detective district constable in the JSF was with ranks at Bolano. Don't ask me for your name because of the busy I know him as ranks, but he sat down and talked about the radio station that. And then a request from the CID of the St. Andrews South for everyone to sing a song. And so whether you can sing or not, you must sing this morning. As Bobby would want to know the way as we sing the song Lean on Me in support to the family. A tribute of reflection. A tribute for 80847 retired district constable Silford Bobby Rents Williams. On behalf of the St. Andrews South Division, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, and the many serving and retired members who stand here today, we salute the life and service of District Constable Silford Bobby Rents Williams. Today we do not simply gather to mourn the passing of a colleague, but we gather to remember an ardent blood policeman. We gather to remember a man who gave a significant part of his life to the service of Jamaica and whose contribution to policing in St. Andrews South deserves to be remembered beyond his own generation. Bobby Rents was one of those members who understood that policing was not merely about wearing a uniform. It was about going where the people were confronting the challenge, bringing the police closer to what our achievements on that numeric front, the legacy of Bobby Rents. Bobby Rents mattered. It mattered to his colleagues, it mattered to St. Andrews South. We can speak to that. But I know for a fact as commanding officer of St. Andrews South that coming to St. Andrews South that we are experiencing and what's more accomplished in St. Andrews South in representing the foundation. It's up their shoulders upon which we stand because they face it down to the family we say we stand with you. Raise our hands, stand in solidarity. And the people of Jamaica. We must say, alright, I too share similar. We all have faith. We all have sorrow. If we are wise, we may know there's always tomorrow. Lean on me.
when I reached out, he said that one of them in charge of it. So he was standing with about 6 men, and they were walking in his everything, red walk. And he said, then DC boy, no come here walking on the floor. And that, I was told in the gardens, real McCoy, you know, young police, I wanted to be playing nice. My windows were down.
My family does some part, my family extended from many people coming involved. Couple life district constable, civil Williams, batch number 08847. To get some point, I like the most troubled man I know. The man who was along Joyce, holding sunshine, yellow. The calm and sometimes raging sea, blue to his children. And that made him upset. I think this incident quiet and very meticulous in what he does. I think he was making the O.C. Bobby. The persona Bobby was known. That who know him will know that he hardly saw him. Many ladies were hooked. In 1983, he joined the Jamaican Standard Force, as I said before, and all the colors came out. He was known in the streets as an influence for the Reds.
Are you our inspector?
D. Barnes, sub-officer in charge of traffic, St. Catherine North.
Yes, and you, sir?
Inspector Hayan, this is sub-officer in charge, Spanish Town, St. Catherine North.
And you, sir?
Jonathan Prince, Inspector in charge of Welfare, CSSB HQ.
Psalm 90 from verse 1 to 12 will be read by Mr. Michael Anthony Ramsey, grandson. Third lesson, 1 Corinthians 15 from verse.
Harris is my name, retired detective at the Federal Service of retired District Constable, Silford Williams. At Life Center Tabernacle Church of God of Prophecy, Broadbent, Spanish Town, St. Catherine. Silford Williams, popular known as Bobby Reds, District Constable who dominated St. Andrews, South Townsbury and its environs. Active police, work with the CIB during his tenure. May his soul rest in peace.
Morning, morning.
outside, inside, outside, in, out, inside, outside, back, hey, back.
Water. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Simon. Respect. Me not see. Yes, boss. And the serving. Remember. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. So I arrived at St. Andrews South 18th of September 1987. On my arrival, Silford William Bobby Red, he was a part of the wounding team. They had a section that dealt exclusively with wounding, comprising of District Constable Atkins and led by Acting Corporal Curtis Wallace, Cat Wallace. So as a youngster, you see everybody coming asking for us, Bobby Reds, Mr. Williams, Willie Reds, all the Reds are coming. And I will see this man, not even knowing that he was a district council, being the man. Everybody come to him and him walk around, him own the place. No, it doesn't look like he literally owns the place. So, you know, as a youngster, I got transferred to Olympic Garden sometime after. Came back and joined the CIB May 1989. And I was placed on a team. Myself, Corporal Wallace, Cat Wallace, Acting Corporal Scott, Robert Scott, and Bobby Reds. Bobby Reds, literally about his daughter. He had 2 daughters and his wife. He didn't know anything about it. I remember one named Michelle.
Yours truly, and this is my name, the Pharaoh of Bobby Red. God bless you, Captain.
And you can't just say one case.
Rest in peace. Outside, chit chat.
We are now observing the flag folding ceremony of the Jamaica Constabulary Force.
Fold. Retrieve. Extend. Forward.
The flag is being folded in the traditional triangle formation. This is in keeping with the protocol established with the folding and handling of the Jamaican flag.
Retrieve. Extend. Here. Carry on.
Here is being taken by the Area Party as they fold the Jamaican flag. Upon completion of the flag being folded, same will be handed to the Sergeant of Police commanding the bearer party. He will in turn hand the flag to Mr. Damian Mandison, Senior Superintendent of Police, representing the Commissioner of Police. Sergeant will in turn hand the flag at this time.
called up yonder, when the roll is called up yonder, I'll be there. On that bright and cloudless morning, when the dead in Christ shall rise, and the glory of his resurrection share. Now when his chosen one shall gather on their own beyond the sky, and the roll is called up yonder, I'll be there. Oh, when the roll is called up yonder, 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 I'll be there. Let us labor for the Master from the dawn till setting sun. Let us talk about his wondrous love and care. Then when all of life is over, and the work on earth is done, and the roll is called up yonder, I'll be there. Oh, when the roll is called up yonder, 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 I'll be there. When the roll is called up yonder, 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 I'll be there. Sing the wondrous love of Jesus. We know that one? Yes. All right. Sing the wondrous love of Jesus, sing his mercy and his grace, in the mansion bright and blessed, he prepared for us a place. When we all get to heaven, what a day of rejoicing that will be, when we all see Jesus, we will sing and shout the victory. When we walk the pilgrim path with clouds with overspread and sky, when traveling days are over, not a shadow, not a sun, when we all get to heaven, what a day of rejoicing that will be, when we all see Jesus, we will sing and shout the victory. Let us then be true and faithful. Let us then be true and faithful. Trusting, serving every day. Every day. Just one glimpse of in glory. Will the tide of life replay? Oh, when we all get to heaven.
It's gonna rain.
The commissioners read, relayed by Mr. Damien Mandis, Senior Superintendent of Police. United District Constable's wreath. Are there any other wreaths to be laid at this time? We ask at this time for the workmen to come and do their bit as they contribute to the Thanksgiving service. Would you turn to your programs as we engage the hymns that are printed on your programs?
When the roll is called up yonder, I'll be there. After 3, 1, 2, 3. When the trumpet of the Lord shall sound, and time shall be no more, and the morning breaks eternal, bright and fair.
In today's presentation, this memorial to Silford, Bobby Reds Williams, then you are definitely not a goldfish, because your attention span is solid, your mind is solid, you're a critical thinker, and you are someone who appreciates information, history and stories of the men and women who helped to shape the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Bobby Reds may longer be physically here with us. He has made his way, what I call the departure lounge. He's on his flight. We don't know where his place would be when he arrives at his destination, but hopefully he will be our savior. But we know that so far we know that he will be meeting up back with members of a team on the other side. Bobby Reds have done his fair share of fighting crime on some of Jamaica's unforgiving and brutal streets. We have. But before we close this chapter, we have a responsibility to give him the final salute he deserves. And that is exactly what I am doing today. This is my final salute to my brother, my partner, my colleague, and a man whose name will forever be connected to the history of St. Andrew South. No one can take that from him. Now, if you have ever served in St. Andrew South, then you know what the team word mean. You are a Southist. Yes, so I want everybody who made it all the way to the end of this video to go into the comment section and type one word: Southist. Yeah man, write it in caps lock, Southist. That word tells me you stay with the memorial from beginning to end. It tells me you listen. It tells me you understood. And it tells me that the legacy of Bobby Reds still matters. To every Southeast, every former colleague, every friend, every family member, and every viewer who took the time to stay with me throughout this presentation, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I cannot reach a point in my life where I still not fight. No, I am a fighter. And I don't lose war. Period. Always. Fight to the very end. May Bobby continue to rest in peace. May his service never be forgotten. And his name always be remembered with respect. As we can tell you, that this man served with honor, courage, and commitment. One thing no one can say about our team, that we were thieves. And we keep repeating it. You can be bad police and still not a thief. Most bad police in Jamaica, people know them as thieves. But we were exceptional. We weren't. That's why enough police don't like us. They didn't like us. The thief in police them, especially yours truly. Because I would call them out publicly. Detective Inspector Ruben Gunter is the epitome of what an honest, decent, ethical police officer is. But that's how far he had reached. A man who have been in the trenches, rain, sun, shine, day, night. The sacrifices. And we can say that the force have little or no use for ethical police officer, decent, hard-working police officer. A man like Ruben Gunter should at least be seen as soup because of the man's character. And when I say that, I say it without any apologies. Please go in the comment section below and type Bobby Reds is a hero. Yeah man, just type Bobby Reds is a hero. Let us fill the comments with those words so that Bobby Red's name, service and legacy will never be forgotten. I will not let his legacy be forgotten. And he will be. And he's a part of the book that I'm writing. Because without Bobby Reds, there wouldn't be no Porter. And without any Porter, there couldn't be no Bobby Reds. It took years before some people knew my name. As a man called today from England, I was sharing an experience with me about his encounter with me, Bobby Reds and Carl Nelson. Not Kirk Palm. Yes, you know, a man from Pretoria Road area. And he was our barber. But, you know, that's how life is. So fill the comments with those words. Bobby Reds is a hero. And if you ever knew Bobby Reds personally, work alongside him, interact with him as a police officer, or have any special memory or experience involving him, please share your story in the comments as well. If you have any experience with Bobby Reds, and somebody who live in a Kingston 1311, Kingston 20 area, yeah, just type it in a comment what your experience. When was, you know, Bobby was a character. Tell us what you remember about him. Tell us how he treated you. Tell us what kind of policeman and human being Bobby Reds was. Those memories are now part of his history. And I want this video to become a place where people who knew Bobby Reds can help preserve his legacy for future generations. So once again, Bobby Reds is a hero. Yeah man, rest well Bobby. Your work is finished, but your legacy lives on. Because we now make them rob you that, you know. Your legacy live on. Both of us. And Carl Nelson too. The people them who help shape our legacy and help shape the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Gone, but not forgotten. Bobby is a legend in his own rights. And I stated before, those of you who, you know, enjoy the Jamaica Young Police channel, I will just share 3 stories about Bobby Reds. as I've told you before, I spend more time with Bobby Reds than I spend with my family, and vice versa. Even Professor Nuts too. You know. But such is life. As they say, once you're here, you're here. Once you're not here, you're not here. For those who attended this funeral yesterday, thank you. For those who didn't, you know, that's a part of life. But I'd expect to see a man like Andrew Williams. I don't know what his situation is, why he wasn't there. I've seen D.I. Bailey. D.I. Bailey was one of the police officers who was charged with Bobby Reds with murder. But when Bobby Reds were working with us, none of us. Because, you know, we do things by the book. I don't know what happened. As he stated before, they had charged him with 3 counts of murder with no witness. They say he was killing off too many PMP gunmen. That's what they says. Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police Channel out.